wheels and the lines, the flow, it's incredible. Wait a second. Dang it. You told me, you said you're gonna film this direction. I just wasn't paying attention. Can you blame me though? Anyway, we are here at Autodromo di Imola. It's one of the most famous racetracks here in Italy to drive this. This is the 2018 Lamborghini Huracán Performante. Now, I don't have to tell you that it's wild. I mean, look at it. It basically has a banquet table for a rear wing. But I will tell you that it has a whole lot more going on than meets the eye. Let's do some investigating. Now, when a car looks as insane as this one does, my strategy is to work from the outside in. So we'll start here with the exterior. And there are, frankly, a lot of things to cover, but I'm gonna stick to the main story with this car, and that is Lamborghini's ALA system, Aerodinamica Lamborghini Attiva. It's basically their form of airflow manipulation, and it's so advanced that they've patented it. It's part of the reason this car has the Nürburgring lap record time of 6 minutes and 52 seconds, 5 seconds faster than the previous holder, the Porsche 918 Spider. What Lamborghini does is they have valves, active valves at the front end and rear end of the car to kind of throttle on and off airflow. So when the valves are closed here at the front, air is being trapped inside the front splitter and adding downforce to the front end. Same thing back here. So the air is actually working through a channel and being trapped and applying downforce to the rear end, and that is letting this rear wing do its job, and that job is to add 750% more downforce than the standard Huracan. When the valves are open though, that lets airflow more naturally actually from the front end to the rear, moving around the car and under it, under hard throttle. So when you're getting back on the gas, it's opening up these valves in 0.2 seconds and letting that air flow through. It's actually, in a way, canceling the downforce that comes from this rear wing. There's another piece to this equation too. It's Lamborghini's Aero Vectoring. Now, if you know how torque vectoring works, it basically applies power to an independent wheel based on available traction. Aero Vectoring doesn't require a heavy system to be installed in the car. It uses these valves to left to right hand side of the car trap or open up airflow. So if you're approaching a corner, say it's a right-hander, and you want less steering input, you want more downforce on the right-hand side, it will open up the channel on the left, trap the air in the channel on the right, and apply the necessary downforce. It makes the car grip so much better in corners. We experience it here on the track. It's mind-bending stuff. So under the hood here in this mid-mounted position is a sort of familiar engine at this point. It's Lamborghini's 5.2-liter V10 engine. Now, of course, Lamborghini couldn't have just left it as it was. This is the Performante after all. So what they did is they installed a new intake system, titanium valves within the cylinders, and a de-restricted exhaust system that, in addition to sounding great, helps the car make more power. The total, 640 horses and 443 pound-feet of torque. Now that is channeled through all 4 wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. It all works out to about 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, which is a 1/10 of a second faster than the regular Huracan, and a top speed of 202 miles per hour. Now, fans of the Huracan will note that that's actually 9 miles per hour less than the standard Huracan, and that's because of extra downforce like things from this rear wing. However you look at it, it's fast. So there are 2 key themes to the inside of the Lamborghini Huracán Performante. Lightweight materials and Alcantara, evidently, because it's used all throughout this cabin. So the first one, the lightweight materials. So Lamborghini developed their own version of carbon fiber. They call it forged composite. So they basically take the chopped carbon bits and they fast cure it in a resin. And they can use it in a variety of different ways. It will be used structurally in the future. For right now, it's kind of aesthetic and lightweight. So they actually saved 88 pounds compared to the standard Huracan, in large part due to the forged composite. So the cabin is, a general place to be. It's really tailored to the racing experience. Everything about it makes you feel like you want to go fast, including the fully digital display, which can be reconfigured based on drive mode. So they've got 3 drive modes. You got Strada, Sport, and Corsa. And as you work your way through them, they make the car more and more stiff and sound even better than it already does in standard mode. So this digital display, it can reconfigure from a standard, tachometer on the left-hand side, your navigation, all these other things that can be infotainment, that kind of features on the right-hand side, to, in Corsa mode, a full tachometer. So the thing you really care about is when you're going to be shifting on the track. So that's front and center on this car. All in all, it's a really special place to be. One of the first things to discuss is what they did to the suspension system. This being the more hardcore car, of course they made it stiffer. It is 10% more stiff vertically, 15% stiffer horizontally. That combined with some super grippy Pirelli P0 Corsa tires, and of course, as we discussed at length, Lamborghini's ALA active aerodynamic system. The car is more communicative, it's got more grip. You can really push it far harder than you can a standard Huracan. I know I've driven, well, all the different variations of that car. And because of this aerodynamic system, you can push it in places you really don't think are possible. Over a crest, yeah, there's grip there. Coming around an off-camber corner, there's grip there. The brakes are sensational. Stop you from really potentially catastrophic situations. Now we're entering the straight here. And by the end of it, we'll be doing 170 miles an hour. Did I mention this is a fast racetrack? Yeah, well, it's only really as fast as the car you're in. And this, my friends, this is a fast car. It's fast in the way it accelerates. It's fast in the way it grips. The carrying speeds through corners, yeah, it's fast there too. I'm astounded at how capable this car is on a circuit like this. And then there's the way it sounds. Good Lord, this de-restricted exhaust is just nuts. The shifts are instant. And the music is tremendous. Now, the other thing to discuss is the steering system, which is actually a variable ratio system, but in Corsa mode, it's a fixed ratio. So when you're driving it, you're not surprised at an adjusting steering ratio while you're driving. It feels very similar to a hydraulic system, even though it's electronic, and that's just because the communication is amazing. I love how big the paddles are, so there's always a place to pull it, a place to change the gear. The movements are so predictable. You know exactly what the car is going to do. The all-wheel drive system gets the power down instantly. The torque, max torque is available from 1,000 RPM. That's instant. That's right there. Thank you, natural aspiration. You stupid turbocharged systems in every performance car these days. You got nothing on this. Nothing at all. This is truly an unbelievable vehicle. So what does it rival? Well, the new Ford GT, the, wow, my mind went blank. The McLaren 675 LT, both of which cost $100,000 to $150,000 more than this car. And when they do finally release it, the Ferrari 488 GTO and the Porsche 911 GT2 RS, the next generation of that car. I don't know how those cars drive or will drive, but I know how this one does. And that is like a bat out of hell. The Huracán Performante, everyone. Quite possibly my favorite car in the entire world.